Yes.
Doing that. Hi, everybody. I don't know why I said that to start out, because that was an awkward voice.
No, I liked it. Do it again.
No, I can't. You know I don't do voices.
Well, you do, purpose. Just not ones, or most of them.
Just one, and it's this. I do it all the time, because it's my actual voice. I was actually very proud of myself that I was able to find a voice to use for one of our Gen Con shows. The Star Wars one.
I'm glad I finally found that last voice, because I was not sure what I was going to do with that character.
Yes. No, I like what you ended up doing with it, though. I think it works.
Ooh, Gen Con teasers.
Nah.
Okay. Posts have been made. Drinks are being had.
These are all good things.
Now we wait. But not for long, because I have plans.
Well, I have nothing.
Not that my plan is super exciting, but that's okay.
Guess who's our first viewer?
Who is it?
You know who it is.
Is it Josh?
Yes.
What up, Josh?
Of course it is. Our faithfulest watcher / listener. Or like top 5 at least.
You're
the best.
Amanda, I'm super excited to start this show.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, super.
See, it has more of an effect when I'm on the screen and I can see you. Because the faces that you're making are beautiful.
I'm just saying. I didn't write the opening today. Amanda wrote the opening.
Oh, right. I mean, no, I didn't. I had nothing to do with it. It's all, it's just things you're probably thinking on the fly as you're speaking. Oh, right. That's why I got in early and, like, fleshed out the show notes.
Yeah, that's why.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. Guess how many Twitter followers I have?
How many Twitter followers do you have?
60.
You broke 60. Does that mean we've doubled you since the...
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like the past week, it like went up to 60 and then went down to 59. And then went up to 60 and then it went down to 59. And it did that like 3 times. And right now I'm at 60. So nobody unfollow me.
You can't say that. Everyone's going to go unfollow you. Just
I know. I know. I don't even say stuff. It's not like I'm cluttering up your Twitter feed. That's a selling point, right? I like to follow people that don't speak so that I just have a blank page whenever I go to Twitter.
I don't think you understand how Twitter works.
I don't. I probably don't.
Okay. We have a couple viewers. At least 3. We know the most important one is here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't retweeted it yet. Hang on. I'm always like, okay, good. Amanda retweeted it. And then I'm like, wait, I didn't retweet it.
Right. and Amanda only has 60 followers, most of whom are already following the Damsels account. So
I mean, there's probably
I've got like
a large number
at
of
least
my followers that are overlapping.
yeah. But I mean,
Maybe.
I probably have maybe 5 people that aren't overlapping. I would guess. I'm not going to go look because that sounds like a lot of work.
Okay. Okay, well, we have a few people here, so I think we should go ahead and start the show. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Okay. Here we go.
Ready?
Hello. Okay, now.
Okay. See? Yeah.
No,
I'm just going to keep doing that while you keep, yeah.
This is why I make you start the show, because I know when to keep my mouth shut.
Go on.
True. I for sure don't.
No, you don't.
Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. Take 2. Amanda, no talking until it says for you to talk. Okay, let's start this thing. Hello, and welcome to episode 9 of the Dork Pridecast. I am Blythe, and at the other mic is my wonderful, adorable, hilarious, yet still somewhat modest co-host, Amanda, who definitely did not write this intro. We make up one half of a nerdcore comedy group called the Damsels of Dorkington, whose main purpose in life is to celebrate Dork Pride. Celebrate Dork Pride. Come on.
Can I talk now?
Yeah, you can talk now.
Okay. Also, that was so sweet of you to say all those nice things about me, completely unscripted and such.
Yeah, I was just feeling a lot of love for you when I totally wrote that opening. And you definitely did not write it.
I definitely did not. No, because that would be really weird for a person to do.
The weirdest, maybe?
That sounds like a challenge to me.
Excellent. Well, so here we are, episode 9. Next week, we're in double digits. I'm super excited about this. I know it's not a big deal in general, but it is to me. So this is fun. This is like our last baby episode, and then next week we become adults. I don't think that's how that works. Mm-hmm. Amanda, what did you do this week? We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so.
Do we?
Yeah, are you kidding? It's E3 and...
That's true.
All kinds of things.
So I have been watching that new show, Preacher. Have you seen it?
How is it? Yes. I have not seen it.
It's so, okay, because I don't know about this sort of stuff. I went into it not realizing it was based on a comic.
Oh, you didn't even know?
No, I did not.
Interesting. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it was just one of those, like, I heard someone talking about, and this was before it had even come out, and it was like, oh, this is coming out soon, and it's supposed to be really good, and that was it. So the first episode or 2 was a lot of, like, what the fuck is going on? But it's really, I'm digging it, and then I saw a post about it somewhere, and they mentioned a comic, and I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I get it now.
Oh, you're adorable. That's so sweet that you didn't know. Has Outcast come out? I bet Josh knows. Josh, let me know in the comments. Outcast is another show that's based on a comic book. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. But also that comic book is written by Robert Kirkman, who also writes The Walking Dead. So I'm interested to see how that show is. The reason I didn't watch Preacher is because I haven't read the graphic novel. And I would like to before I watch it.
Right.
So that's why I didn't get into it yet. Is that series finished or is it ongoing?
Preacher?
Josh will know that answer too.
Preacher?
Yeah, Preacher.
It just started. Like, it's had 3 episodes, I think. Like,
No, the series,
oh, the actual.
yes, the source material.
I knew that. I was just trying to be funny.
And you were.
On purpose.
On purpose.
Not out of ignorance.
No. Listen, you're talking to the girl who was like, wait, we don't have, or monkeys don't have opposable thumbs. So listen, no judgment here.
That's true. I'm way smarter than you are.
Super smarter.
Not about comics. You got me beat hands down there.
Okay. Josh, Josh says that Outcasts is out now. If the air date was June 3rd. But he's not familiar with it, which actually surprises me. Anyway, that's our fact checker there, Josh Thomas. You can follow him at Imp in My Head on Twitter. So Preacher, you like what you see so far, or are you still like,
so far,
I don't know how I feel about this because it's weird?
It's one of those, like, it's weird, but it has a lot of potential for being, So it was weird, but not this is fucked up and not interesting. It was this is weird and I want to see where this is going.
Okay.
And then it was like, oh, it was a comic. And then I think I got onto I don't know if it was just like the wiki for it or something. And there's the synopsis, like the first line in it was like, okay, and they're going to assume you've read or know something about this. I'm like, I can't read this because it gives away some stuff.
Yeah, it's really hard to go look up backstory and information that's not spoilery. Like, you just can't do it anymore.
Right. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, I'm just curious about, not thinking that, like, oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't read a synopsis because the story that I've seen in the show is just barely started, so any information is going to be giving something away.
For sure.
But yeah, I'm digging it.
Well, good. I went to the drive-in, which is a weird statement to make in 2016.
Yes.
But I saw the Warcraft movie.
And I've heard good things about it.
It wasn't the greatest. I mean, this is kind of the review I gave to X-Men Apocalypse. It wasn't the best thing, but honestly, it was better than I thought it was going to be. So,
were you expecting, like, for it to just be shit, or?
Well, has there been even a halfway decent movie based on a video game yet?
I mean, I'm still looking forward to the Tetris movies. So.
Get out of here with your bullshit.
Because those look to be phenomenal.
But, yeah, I mean, there's enough lore in the Warcraft universe and Azeroth's backstory and all of that.
Yeah.
And I haven't played World of Warcraft in...
Now,
8
I have
years?
to ask.
Yeah.
Did you not like it that much because it didn't focus on fishing enough?
Okay.
Or
no.
Were you a little sad? Were you a little sad that they didn't have any fishing in it?
Yeah, like there was no moment when somebody went to the auction house to sell like a stack of eels or whatever. So I definitely missed that. But
yeah.
Whatever. Don't judge me. Yes, I maxed out my fishing skill. I know, I get it. It's hilarious. I'm a nerd. I would literally sit on vent and listen to the rest of my guild go on raids, and I would be reading a book and fishing. I found it therapeutic, and I don't know.
I like to fish too. I didn't max it out, but I did.
And I would listen to the boys scream at each other, and girls. There were women in the guild too, but it's primarily guys. And so I would just listen to them yell at each other and wipe in whatever raid they were in and laugh while I just caught more fish. Listen, I'm a weirdo, okay? But yes, I haven't actually played World of Warcraft in probably 8 years.
I mean, it's probably been close to that for me too. Maybe not
Mhm.
quite that long, but it's been.
But
Well, maybe it has been. Yeah,
I
it's been a
did
while.
play on a near daily basis for 2 years. So
Oh yeah,
I'm familiar.
yeah.
So there were some references in there that I totally got, and I was kind of surprised because it had been so long. I thought maybe they would kind of sail over my head just
Hmm.
because it had been so long since I've played. But
Right,
no,
and there'd be newer references that they would be making that. Yeah,
right.
but
Um, they did have a Murloc for just a split second, and that made me happy, and also want to stab.
did it make its little?
The yeah, it did. It did. Oh man, that sound used to be like PTSD inducing for me. Oh,
Yes, that
I got
was
killed by Murlocs
all the
so
time
often,
because I got killed by them all the time.
all day, every
Yeah,
day.
every day.
Um, so that is
Did I tell you about my first World of Warcraft character that I made? Um, like, oh, it'll be my first character. I'm gonna pick an easy character to play, so I'm gonna play like just your basic fighter warrior person, and I'll just be a tank because that's easy. You just run in and
no.
I get
Mm-mm.
yelled at a lot once I got higher level and like I was in groups and then people are like, "What are you doing? You're getting us all killed." I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing."
Because you Leroy Jenkins did.
It was never that bad, but I was not good at it.
That's so funny.
I realized pretty quickly, like once you got up to that point where you need other people, it was like, oh, this is not the character to play for a newbie.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I was a human mage. Um, and then I didn't name that character. I actually took it from someone else. Someone gave me that character. Because when I picked it up, I didn't know that I was actually going to get into it, and then I totally got into it. And so I was just
Yeah.
like, just give me this character, just send her over to my account. We're just gonna do this. So that's what happened. But then later, I made another mage, and she was a blood elf because I wanted to try out the horde side of things.
That's the way it goes. I mean, yeah, my first
Well,
character was Alliance, and then
I also, when I started, there weren't any pretty horde characters, and I like
yeah,
pretty things.
yeah,
So Alliance was a given for me. But
right.
then they came out with the Blood Elves, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to play a horde character because I want to see the other side of things." And I named her. She was also a mage because I didn't want to. I wanted to play what I
Right.
knew. I didn't want to step out of
Yeah.
my box too much. I named her Smagema. I can't believe that didn't get flagged. Um, anyway, so yes, my alt was a blood elf mage. I believe. I think so. Anyway, so that's my World of Warcraft experience. I didn't know we were gonna get that far into it. But yeah, no, so the movie was actually pretty decent. There was a lot of stuff that was not well explained.
Hmm.
And so it was kind of like, okay, I mean, like I get that this is a thing, but I don't really know why it's a thing or like where it's coming from. Um, so that's kind of weird. And then I think they had trouble with the orcs and whether they were going to be like just unfeeling, uncaring brutes who
Hmm.
conquer everything, period, end of story, or if they were going to be a little bit more humanized.
Hmm.
Um, and so that it felt like this weird struggle where it was like some of them were, but you didn't really understand why or how that happened. So some of them were more compassionate or more empathetic a little bit,
Right.
um, more rational and logical and reasonable, but you don't really know why. Where everyone, the vast majority of orcs are just like kill everything, and you're like, but I don't understand. So that was kind of a weird, a weird sort of thing to deal with, or that wasn't dealt with, basically. But
Yeah.
but I mean, those were probably my biggest complaints. And if those are your biggest complaints, You're doing okay. Also, did you know the director is David Bowie's son?
Really?
I didn't even know David Bowie had a son.
Yeah.
Let alone one that is old enough to direct a motion picture.
Right.
But yeah, it's David Bowie's son. So anyway, just weird random facts I discovered this week. Also, because it was a drive-in, it was a double feature, and so I saw Alice Through the Looking Glass, kind of.
Is that? I've heard that's terrible. Is it terrible?
Oh, it's awful.
What you saw? Okay,
it's
that's what I've heard.
Yeah. And when I say kind of, it's because I basically dozed through 75% of it. I was just kind of like, I would drift off and then wake up and be like, oh, I still don't care. So I saw like the very beginning and the very end, and that was it. And then everything else was like, cool. They're still going through time, I guess. I don't know. Don't see it. Moral of the story. Tim Burton, man, he used to make such amazing works, and I just am not down anymore. Oh my gosh, I lost Amanda. Well, I am going to re-invite her. But in the meantime, wow, yeah, I need her for all the things we're planning on discussing. I can't discuss anything without her at all. Oh, she's back. That's good. Hi, welcome back.
Hi. That was weird.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Welcome to live streaming, guys. So I was just saying Tim Burton sucks, which is a shame because he used to be amazing.
Yeah, but he kind of used up all of his.
That's true. Okay. Let's talk about the couple other topics we have on the discussion list here that are not related to Damsels, and then we'll get into a big discussion about Gen Con and Damsels.
Right.
So last weekend was the Tonys, and I know we bored the hell out of everyone talking about fashion and musicals on the podcast last week. So we're not going to do that again. We are just going to discuss musicals with no fashion. You're welcome.
We're only thinking of you guys.
But we just had...
yes, did you see that my boyfriend won Best Actor in a Featured Role?
Yeah, he's so cute.
Oh, I love him.
So basically Hamilton won all the things.
All the things, as it deserved to. But yes, no, it was the first time ever that... Oh, yeah.
Real quick, I got to backtrack before we get too far off this topic. I have just been informed by my dear friend Ryan that Tim Burton only produced Through the Looking Glass. He didn't direct it, which is why there was a different feel and less excellence. Although, to be fair, I didn't see the first one, so I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure about the lack of excellence comparatively. So, Ryan, I'll go watch that first one just because you say it's better. And thank you for that information. I appreciate that. And I appreciate knowing that maybe Tim Burton doesn't suck so hard. All right, sorry. Back to the Hamiltonies, which is how they were, what they were being called this year, because Hamilton did, in fact, break the record for the most Tony nominations, and then they swept the award show as well.
Yes.
So it was just the Hamiltonies.
It was.
And
no, it's the first time that like all four of the big awards, the Best Actor and Actress in a Lead Role and Best Actor and Actress in a Featured Role or Supporting Role, if that would be the more, were all people of color, which is awesome. And something we would probably never see in the Academy Awards because they're a little white.
I love James Corden's joke about, this is the Tonys. You can think of it as the Oscars with more diversity.
Yes.
Or with diversity, not more diversity.
Right,
just
with
diversity,
any at all.
Period.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really great. It made me want to go see a play again, which I haven't seen a play in years because I'm a musical freak.
Yeah.
And plays typically bore me. But man, some of the things that they were talking about and the pieces that they were showing, like, I was like, this is seriously moving shit. Like, I wanna go see a play.
Yeah.
So also it caused me to finally break down, stop listening to Hamilton for 5 fucking minutes and listen to Sarah Bareilles' musical, which is an adaptation of the Kerry Russell film Waitress.
Yes, which I'm going to have to check out because I do like her.
And it's so Sarah Bareilles-y. I know that's like not an adjective, is that?
But I understand what you mean because she has a sound and a feel to her music.
The lead of Waitress could pass for Sarah.
Really?
Vocally. Sometimes I was listening and I was like, wait, did Sarah sing this? No, she didn't sing on the cast recording. Idiot. So it's really great. Lots of harmonies, and that's like really cool, tight.
Oh, you hate those
that Sarah does. So
yeah.
Anyway, all right, sorry, that's the musical corner. I swear to God, it's not going to become a regular thing.
Or will it?
It was just exciting for us because it's the one year, or it's the one time every year that it's like awards and stuff. So,
and it's all Hamilton this year, which makes us extra happier. I don't know if you guys know this, but Blythe and I both kind of like Hamilton.
A little.
A little.
Probably more than a little.
Probably a little more than a little.
Okay, so that's that. And then finally, in non-damsel related news, can we please talk about this bullshit T Swift and T Hids?
I heard they were second face, which seems weird because
it's weird.
That's not a matchup that I ever would have pictured.
No, it made me lose respect for Tom Hiddleston, and
he's a lot older than the guys she tends to go for too. She tends to go for very juvenile.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, she dated John Mayer when she was
that's true.
22 or some shit.
Yeah, but everybody dated John Mayer for a second.
Which I don't understand. Whatever. Anyway, I was very upset to see this. And I don't normally I do not give a fuck who is dating who. I do not care. You can put it in front of me and I will go,
okay.
Cool. I just don't give a shit. But I just don't really like Taylor Swift as a person. I don't think she's the greatest person in the world. Tom Hiddleston, on the other hand, I do think is the greatest person in the world. So the fact that he's dating her was really upsetting for me. And I just needed to talk about it and vent and let everyone know that this isn't okay. So whatever we need to do, whatever petition we need to start.
Don't worry, it won't last more than a few months because that's how things go.
I know. You're not wrong. But just, it was so so upsetting when I saw it. And I legitimately do not care about these things normally. But this one just, it made my stomach turn. In fact, the topic in the show notes says, T Swift and T Hids puke barf. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Let's talk about the Damsels and what we're doing at Gen Con.
We should do that.
For our patrons, because for those of you who do not know, we have a Patreon campaign that we've been running, and very successfully. People have been supporting us and for months now, and they are wonderful. And if you haven't checked it out, please do. You can hop on that bandwagon at any point in time. But we wanted to do some things to thank those people who've been supporting us with their wallets. I mean, we appreciate any sort of support, but we were able to go to AllCon in March, which is a convention we hadn't been to in 3 years because we couldn't afford it.
Right.
We were able to go there, and we've been working on designing a new t-shirt and doing all these kinds of things that we were unable to do last year. And the Patreon has allowed us to do those things and be working on new shows and this podcast and the Damsel Dorkouts that we do once a month. So that's been really helpful and great. And so we wanted to find a way to thank those patrons. And not everyone's going to be at Gen Con, but a lot of people will be at Gen Con.
Yeah.
So Amanda, do you want to talk about what we're doing? Because I think you may be even more familiar with it than I am at this point.
We're gonna have a party.
We're gonna have a party, guys.
We're gonna invite you guys to our room.
We're gonna
hang out.
Tell you where we live for the weekend.
And we're gonna let you inside of the room.
Of our room.
Of the room.
So.
And our mini fridge.
Do we have a mini fridge? We've never used it.
I don't know. I actually said that and I'm like, I think there's one.
It's a suite, so in theory
there should be a fridge in it because there's a microwave, right? And a
yes question mark.
Right. We are very observant people.
Well, it's just that we don't ever use it.
Yeah.
So.
But we will this year. And if you're a patron, so will you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a party on the Thursday night of Gen Con. We figured that's probably when people are doing less things. But also, the nice thing about that is the Thursday of Gen Con is the first Thursday of the month.
And what do we do on the first Thursday of the month?
I don't know if you guys know, but like we do a show every first Thursday called the Damsel Dork Out. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up in our room. We're going to have this podcast with all four of us, plus a live studio audience, basically, of patron.
Of you guys.
Yeah, of patrons. And then directly, we'll do that for an hour, and then we'll switch over and we'll do the Damsel Dork Out for at least another hour after that. Again, live on Google+. And I mean, we'll probably incorporate the patrons in, play some games. Maybe we don't have it planned out entirely yet.
Right.
But
we just know it's going to happen.
Yeah. And we want you guys there and we want you guys involved.
Also
to say thank you.
Blythe, don't read Josh's latest comment.
Oh no.
She says, ensuring that you will.
Lin-Manuel is a happily married man with a child. So Josh, you shut your dirty whore mouth. He's not cheating on her.
Not with T-Swift.
No, definitely not with T-Swift. Oh God, I would nerd rage for days. Anyway. So that's the plan. If you're coming to Gen Con, we're going to have a party at our hotel on Thursday night. So keep an eye out for that. It will definitely start by 8 o'clock. Probably a little bit before, because that's when because we have a show at 7.
Yes.
So basically, we'll have a caravan back to
So come see our show at 7.
Yep.
Well, no, but it's Eastern time there, right?
Oh.
So.
Right, it's an hour ahead. So it'll be 7 o'clock, which will be 6 o'clock Central.
Mm-hmm. So that show will be over by 7 Central. So we'll still have an hour before we would be set to go on. So
perfection. So we will head back.
Almost like we planned it that way.
Yeah, I know, right? So we will do our show from 7 to 8. That's Gen Con time. And then we have from 8 to 9 to get set up, get to the room, get everybody partying. And then we will have the podcast from 8 to 9. The Damsel Dork Out from 9 to 10. Or, sorry, 8 to 9 is 9 to 10 is the podcast, 10 to 11 is the Damsel Dork Out. And then, we'll just drink or play games until we decide to kick you guys out.
Right.
So, it'll be a good time.
It will be.
If you're going to be at Gen Con, keep an eye open for that information.
Which will be up on our Patreon page.
It'll be on the Patreon page, yes.
Yes. And I'm sure we will send something out to our patrons as well. But yeah.
Yes. So if you are not a patron already, please go. And this is at any level, by the way. So even if you become a patron at $1 a month, you can come to our room party at Gen Con. So this is for everyone. You just have to be a patron by the end of July. That's the cutoff.
Right.
So
which is like 4 days before Gen Con. So
right. So you have plenty of time, but the sooner the better. Don't forget about it. Go do it.
Right.
Do it. So yeah, so it'll be really fun. And that's what's happening. Also, tickets are still slowly trickling for our shows. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, go get them.
Do you happen to know how I haven't looked recently at the numbers, like what's left. I know that the Star Wars show is getting low, I thought.
Yeah, the storytelling show on Thursday, still plenty of tickets. That's in the big room. And we still have VIP tickets for that one as well.
Right. That's in the big room, so we always have plenty of those.
The Macbeth show is almost sold out. We only have 43 tickets left. And the VIP tickets are gone for that. The Star Wars show, we have 157 tickets because that one's in a slightly bigger room.
Okay. I knew one of it was kind of getting,
Yeah, because that one's in a small room.
Right, but the VIP tickets for that one are gone, though, right?
VIP tickets are gone for Macbeth and Star Wars.
Right, okay.
So that's where we're sitting. Gen Con is coming up really fast, so we are making plans and merchandise and stuff like that. So if there's anything you want to see us selling at Gen Con, now is the time to shoot out those ideas before we start pulling the trigger on everything. And it's too late. So I think that's Gen Con news. And also Damsel news. That's what's going on there. And so I think we should move on to the news according to Jeff.
Yes.
Only this week it's going to be a little bit different. Because as we have discussed for like the past 2 weeks, Jeff is at E3 literally right now.
Yep.
So I texted him today and I said, hey, are you going to be able to do the news according to Jeff? And he said, I don't think so. There's just no wireless here. Like I'm having trouble getting on the phone.
I can't imagine why there would be a lack of wireless at some place like E3 where nobody is using it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I said, that's okay. I can do the news for you this week. And he said, thank you. And I said, don't thank me. Because it may not be flattering. So this is the news according to Jeff, according to Blythe?
Yes. I like that.
Cool. All right. So here is what I found out. The Halo Wars 2 beta was announced, which amusingly, I didn't even know there was a Halo Wars 2 coming out. That had been announced already.
Right.
But they announced...
Right, they're already coming out with the beta then.
Yeah, of course. But let me tell you, I loved Halo Wars so much. I think I finished that game in like 2 to 3 sittings maximum. I blew
Have a problem?
Through. What'd you say?
I said, you have a problem? Because that's pretty fast.
Well, I mean, it's not a super long game. Don't get me wrong.
Well, right, but still.
I loved that game.
Yeah.
So I am super stoked about this, except, of course, it's only for the Xbox One. So also they announced the beta as being right now. They were like, hey, we're having a beta. And it started. So go join.
Hope you already have an Xbox One, which Blythe does not.
So the beta is happening without me. And I'm really upset about it for obvious reasons. But it's okay. So basically, fuck me for not getting an Xbox One sooner. And the game is actually launching in February. So at least there's a long time to that. But it could be the countdown to me committing suicide. If I still don't have an Xbox One by then, I might just end it all.
Yes.
So that'll be a fun Russian roulette game. For me.
Okay.
Xbox Design Lab lets you design your own Xbox One controller and then snail trail all over it when it arrives. Because it's like you can design it and you make it whatever you want. And then it gets there and you're like, yeah. And that's what you're supposed to do, right?
I don't think so. Oh, no, wait, you're right. I was thinking of something else.
Have you seen them, by the way? They're really pretty.
I have not.
Oh, they're so pretty.
Because I also don't have an Xbox One.
They're like $70, I think they're $70 or $80 if you get them engraved. Those numbers are coming off the top of my head, so they may not be 100% accurate, but they're close.
I'm sure they're not cheap.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, they are definitely not. But, oh, my God, they're so pretty. Oh, they're so pretty. I want one. And I want it to be purple, because duh.
Right. But you know what you need first?
Yeah, an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Ugh, rub it in. All right. Okay.
I'd rather rub it out.
Oh, get out of here. So the next news piece is Xbox One S, Project Scorpio. I don't fucking know. Jeff likes balls in his mouth.
I can confirm the last part of that. I don't know about the first part.
Listen, I just read this article that's clearly not written by someone who speaks English. I don't know. Apparently, there's a new Xbox One S coming out. I don't know how it's different. And then there's this other thing called Project Scorpio that's apparently completely different. It's like 4K different. Shut up, you dickhead. Sorry. I don't know. Fucking Xboxes, man. But yeah, apparently this Project Scorpio thing is like a whole new console, but it's also like still compatible with everything on the Xbox One. I don't understand. That's why I just finished with Jeff likes balls in his mouth.
Yeah. So is it like, I mean, not like, but similar to the way that like when the Kinect came out, it wasn't like completely a separate thing, but it was a...
No.
Okay. I don't know shit about fuck.
This is definitely like a completely different console.
Oh, okay. It's
not an addition.
Okay.
Gotcha. The specs on it are apparently higher. And like I said, it's going to be ready for 4K. But they do know that because they're launching it so close to when the original Xbox One was launched, like they can't do like a whole new system. People would riot. People would literally riot in the streets. So everything's still going to be like cross compatible.
Yeah.
Which I guess. So. Like I said, I just try to stay out of this Xbox One bullshit because it upsets me. Especially now that like it's like, oh, you don't have an Xbox One. Well, now you're not going to have the Super Xbox One either. Great. Although I don't have a 4K TV, so would it do me any good anyway? Question mark. Why do I keep saying question mark? Is that the title of the episode?
Probably. I don't know. Should it be question mark? You see what I did there? That was super clever.
I do see what you did there. Okay. Here we go. Pokemon Go launches July 15th on Android and iOS, so I guess I'm getting a new phone.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Because
how can I not play Pokemon Go? Are you crazy?
You kind of have to.
So,
I mean, it's you deserve at least that. If you can't have an Xbox One, then you at least deserve Pokemon Go.
I agree. I do deserve Pokemon Go.
Yeah. You're worth it, Blythe. You should see about stuff.
Okay, I'm really excited about this one too. OMG, there's going to be a Skylanders show on Netflix this fall. But Patrick Warburton was not mentioned, so what even is life?
How is that? I mean, yeah, what's the point then?
I know. He was hands down my favorite part of that game.
Well, yeah.
I mean, because he's Patrick Warburton. Basically, he's hands down my favorite part of anything he's ever been a part of.
Of anything with Patrick Warburton. Yes.
He's so great.
No, he is.
But still, like, that's crazy. They're getting their own TV show. I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see how it goes. I loved Skylanders. I stopped playing when they started swapping, when you could swap like tops and bottoms of the different Skylanders. And then I actually just got rid of all of them, which clearly I shouldn't have done, but that's okay. Whatever. Okay, here we go. Something Legend of Zelda. Guys, this is what you get when I do the news. I'm sorry.
Right.
There's a new Zelda. I don't know anything about it.
It's supposed to be fucking huge. Like, the world is just going to be...
They said there's, like, a massive beta, and that's only, like, 1% of the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, apparently it's been, a huge draw. I mean, obviously, at E3.
Of course, every Legend of Zelda game, like, even the bad ones were still, did really well.
They're still,
On a related note, something else, Paper Mario.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about. I love me some Paper Mario. They're just fun and cute, and sometimes you want, like, sort of the older school cartoony video games. Like, I love the ones that are super pretty and cinematic and everything, but I also like, that's why my Wii U. Like, I like being able to play the stuff like that at times where you just want a silly, fun, kid-friendly game.
Right.
And Paper Mario are some of my favorite.
All right.
I've loved all of them that have.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about that.
That's why I love Skylanders.
Yeah.
It was just like silly, fun for kids, but still well done.
Right.
It was delightful.
Exactly. Yeah, it's for kids, but it's not. I mean, there's certainly games like that. Like Sonic, I can't stand. Like, I hate that shit. But Paper Mario. And that's coming out in like October, I think.
Oh, wow.
It's
don't even have to wait long. Okay. Also, and this is really more for Amanda than anything else, there's going to be a new Mass Effect.
I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited.
So tell me about that, because you know way more than I do at this point. Let's talk about it.
So I'm pretty sure this was another E3 sort of reveal. Like, I just saw the story yesterday. That doesn't mean anything because, I'm not in the know about a lot of things. But they released a trailer that it didn't show a lot of extended gameplay. It actually it was more of a behind the scenes, sort of like a making of sort of thing, but they showed a few little bits. But it's not with the same characters. It's so it's still Mass Effect. It's still in that world, but it's a new cast of characters.
Okay.
With a new hero. But what I thought was really cool was that, so for all of these games, you have the character creation when you first start out, so you can play as a man or a woman, and you can make your face look however you want it to look. But generally, promotional materials include the male character. And they actually, for this one, they're showing their hero character as the female version.
Nice.
Which I really appreciate. And I saw that and thought that was really cool with the article I was reading. And then I scrolled down to the comments and realized that you should never do that. Because people are like, oh, they're just catering to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so I would play, it doesn't matter to me what the character is. I would play, you know what? There are games that I won't play because I want to play as a girl. There are games that I don't care, but there are some, like, especially the really role-play heavy games, like, I want to play a girl character. So, and I like that they realize that women play their games and really enjoy their games and are a big part of their, fan base. So I appreciate it. That was pretty cool. But also, I love Mass Effect, and there's going to be a new one. I'm excited.
I didn't play any of the Mass Effect games in the past. Maybe I was going to say, maybe I'll pick this one up.
Yeah.
It was just always there was too much for me in the past. But maybe I'll make it a priority and just say, fuck it.
Yeah.
And dive in.
They're fun. They're good times. I don't know if you know this, but I enjoyed them. So
yeah, I do know that. Didn't you cosplay Mass Effect characters at one point?
No, Dragon Age.
Oh,
it's also BioWare. It's BioWare, so it's their other big.
Oh no! Listen, I'm familiar. I played Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah.
Okay. When is that coming out? Do you know?
They have not said. Sometime next year. It's one of those.
We're working on it.
Right, like that's. I mean, they didn't really even show any extended gameplay at all. So I think it's still in pretty early stages. So they're being, So they're saying next year.
Plenty of time.
Yes. Okay. And also, it sounds like usually for the first 3, they were a trilogy, and decisions from one led into the others. They were saying that the way that you ended Mass Effect 3 will not affect gameplay in the new game. So, if that matters to you.
It does. Also, okay, so that really concludes the news according to Jeff, according to Blythe. But I did want to just give a quick shout out to Polygon for making this possible. I was sifting through news articles and I was just not finding anything relevant. And I was like, where can I go that's just going to give me all the things that Jeff would have probably put in to this segment this week? And I realized, Polygon, what am I even doing? What am I even doing with my time? So if you aren't into Polygon, get into it. Those guys are amazing. And they make lots of other content that is delightful and hilarious. And a couple of the McElroys are involved over there, and I love them. I have a McElroy problem, so... And if anyone knows who they are, they know. Also, that's contributed to my Hamilton problem, is my McElroy problem, because they're friends with Lynn. So, he's always on their podcasts.
Yeah.
And or popping into the groups on Facebook. I see Lynn, posting in these groups, and I'm just like...
Yeah.
Anyway, he's adorable.
Well, that's sort of the extra excitement I've had about the new Disney movie that's coming out.
Mona? Yeah, I know, for sure, yeah.
Because that looks really pretty. And, oh, look, Lin-Manuel Miranda's name is on it, so I extra want to see it now.
They just came out with a trailer that had music that was, super Lin-Manuel-y.
Yeah.
Was he singing on it as well?
I don't know.
I don't either. I saw it in passing. It might have been while I was watching the Hamiltonies, actually. Anyway. All right. So that leads us to the letters from Rissy.
Yes, it does. So, these are letters from Rissy, but we didn't specify who these letters are to. Which she has taken advantage of. So today's letter from Rissy is to her cat.
Of course it is.
Yes. So, with no further ado. Dear Kitteh, I hope this letter finds you well. And by well, I mean not fucking puking everywhere because you ate all the goddamn dental floss out of the motherfucking garbage can like it's booty, and you're all the culturally literate dudes ever in 2015.
Oh my God, I love her.
Right?
Ugh, that's hilarious. Go on.
Yeah. Seriously, stop that. Anyway, I'm writing you this letter because I'm concerned. Scratch that. I'm writing you this letter because you don't speak English no matter how much I yell it at you when you're destroying stuff, but I still want to express my feels. Where was I? Oh, right, concern. Kitteh, it's about your butthole.
Oh, no.
I usually try not to look directly into your eye of Sauron, even though you're always aiming it directly at my face when my alarm goes off. I'm not so sure why you think your butthole is so great that it warrants this little dance, but it's probably some kind of cat communication that I'm supposed to feel honored by. Apparently, you holding yourself against my legs during inconvenient times is the equivalent of a cat hug, so you showing me your butthole is a wink? I'm not sure. I know that you like to lick your butthole for cleanliness purposes, but I'm beginning to think that you're doing it too much. Hence my concern. Why do I think you're doing it too much? Because you've licked a bald stripe up the base of your tail, and now your little chocolate starfish lives inside a larger, paler starfish, and it's haunting my dreams. Every time you lift your tail, I'm like, wait, is the cat's butthole getting bigger? Is the universe going to be sucked into that gaping maw, or am I just imagining things? Do I have to take her to the vet? So, in conclusion, Kitteh, I, your owner, kindly request that you maybe lay off licking your poop chute for a while. I really don't want to have to start paying more attention to it than you've already made me do. Also, you flicked a poop out of your litter box. Love, Mommy. P.S. If you wake me up early on Saturday mornings, I'm going to make you into a pair of gloves. P.P.S. I love you. Don't ever die. But if you do, I'll have you taxidermied. And that, my friends, has been today's letter from Rissy.
Awesome. Question mark? Killing it, guys.
Yep.
Killing it. Oh, Rissy and Kitteh.
And poor Kitteh, who does like the dental floss.
That's awful. Well, I mean, I know she normally talks about poop, but this week she talked about where cat poop comes from. So You guys think it's all fun and games until she mentions chocolate starfish.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh. Okay, well, do we have anything else we should discuss?
No, I feel like that's where we should end the show, is on Rissy's cat's butthole.
Ugh. Okay. I'm going to go have dinner with Dan Amrick. So let's go ahead and wrap this up while I try not to think about
Well, yeah, that's probably not something you want to think about during dinner. I don't know why.
Ugh. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, so thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Hopefully you can join us again next Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. We stream live on Google Plus and YouTube. And if you can't watch us live, you can always watch the full video later on YouTube.
Or if you prefer to listen to the audio version of the podcast, it is available on any podcast app you use, including iTunes. So subscribe and rate or review us if you do use iTunes. That is very helpful. So whatever you feel compelled to do, it helps a lot.
It does. And of course, you can find us all sorts of other places like Twitter. On Twitter, I am at @raging_Bonner.
I am at Blythe Renee, and the group is at Dorkington, where you can find links to all of our Twitters, including Jeff and Rissy.
Mm-hmm. You can also support us through our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/Damsels of Dorkington, where besides becoming one of our favorite people, you can also get access to rewards that are only available through that campaign, like the Gen Con room party that we mentioned earlier, as well as being personally thanked on at least one podcast per month.
On a podcast like this. So become a patron today, just like these cool people. John Haight, Joshua Griffiths, our faithful Northern minion John Kozlowski, Casey Discreetly Ector, Travis and Wendy Mays, Carlos Macera, John Latch, Aaron Griffin, Joe Louie, the Great Lukeski, Stephen Kendall, Eric Ruggles, Jay, Only One Letter Teller, and Wayne Wells. Thank you guys so much for making this possible. And if you are going to be at Gen Con, please plan on being at our room party on Thursday, directly after our show. Just plan on it. And if you can't, if you have other things, you can pop in and out. You'll have all the information. You don't have to come and stay, but you certainly can. So
yeah,
we're excited.
So we are. We're very excited. Hopefully you guys can be there too. But thanks for watching or listening or whatever it is you did to get to this point. This has been episode 9 of the Dork Pridecast, and we will see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.